It's 2 o'clock.
All right, it's 2 o'clock and we're going to get started here. Today we're doing a webinar on it's all about the follow-up. So basically what we have is I'm going to go through like kind of picking out a CRM. Basically, let me give you a little, I kind of changed it up. There's going to be a little bit too much information in one webinar, so I kind of broke it up into like the benefits of, sorry, pardon my phone ringing, but the benefits of using a CRM and how it could really help you out with your follow-up. I mean, and staying on top of tasks with different people in your database and kind of sorting your database and basically knowing who's in your database and so you know what to send them, okay? So let's get started. So basically, here's just kind of a thing I found that I thought was kind of interesting. A day in life of a real estate agent, like, so basically showing like, beginning of the day, you're excited to get started, and then you have all these things you got to do, and then it's hard, and then now stuff's starting to work, and then it's like, oh, I messed up. You're up and going up and down, up and down, up and down throughout the day. And the goal of like a CRM is really to make your life easier, so you're not in this constant cycle. You always have, you have a million things to do every day as far as working with clients, and there's the forms and whatnot, and just in showing properties and going on listing presentations and stuff like that, and this kind of mundane tasks of follow-up, just staying on top of people's minds all the time is something that's a little bit harder to do. So really having the tools and the systems in place is going to make your life a lot easier. So you know that you have these systems in the background working on your behalf, so you don't have to be constantly working, sending out emails to people and trying to stay top of mind, because you want to be there when the person needs you, and there's you're not always needed, I guess, and sometimes you get a lead and they're maybe it's a lead that's an online lead that is a long 6-12 months out, but you don't want to just drop them if they don't contact you back right away, because somebody's going to get in front of that person at the right time, and by you having some of these systems in place, you could be that person that's staying in front of them, providing value to them. So goal number one is staying in front of your clients. So like I mentioned, I've separated this up, so I'm going to show you kind of the benefits, and then I'll touch on the free CRM that's available to you through CRMLS or SRAR called Lion Desk. But really, this stuff and this section of the webinar just applies. It doesn't matter what CRM you're using. The practices kind of remain the same, but we'll be going through a CRM that you can use, and then I will be, for the next webinar, I'll have some campaigns already built out for you that you can use and tailor, customize for yourself, but at least you have a good start point to get started. So today we're just going through some of the process, and then next time we're going to get into the weeds of actually setting everything up, okay? Excuse me. So goal number one, your number one goal is staying in front of your leads and your clients, right? And then just some things to remember: don't take it personal if you don't hear back from them right away. People are living busy lives, and I don't know if basically all this started was from a office talk where people were talking about about leads and online leads and conversion rates, and then it all came back down to a lot of people just admitting that their follow-up, after a few attempts, they just stopped following up with them, and they didn't have like campaigns that ran for a long period of time to always be sending content to them. So so that's where we kind of started. So, and in that office talk, there was a number of people that said, by not giving up on certain people over a period of time, it might have been a year later, but they find, it was just sending them stuff. They didn't hear back. They didn't hear back. They didn't hear back. And then eventually something they sent them was the thing that got them to reach out, and then ultimately landed them their deal. So so don't take it personal. Don't give up if you don't hear back from them right away. Automate more and keep it looking personalized. So and we're going to be going through that a bit more in the next webinar, but we'll kind of go through some of the practices throughout this one, but the implementation will be the next one. And then people want to hear from you, but they want to hear from you about them, if that makes sense. So personalized, like going back to that last step, keep it personalized looking. So there's some things in there where you could tailor the subject, customize the subject line for each one of your people in your database, so that says like their first name. So it'd be like Richard, and then say the subject right after it. So then that way you're sending them something that's personalized, that is automated. So you're not personalizing each and every one. You're just setting them up on a campaign, and every one that gets sent out to each individual contact will have their name inserted in there. So and like I said, we'll be going through that more next time, but these practices are consistent throughout whichever CRM you're using, or however you're following up, okay? And never let them forget you're an agent and that you're there to help them, okay? Because avoid being forgotten. There's 70% of home buyers forget their agent's name after the first year. So you don't want to be that agent, and then it shows it's about 60% of real estate agents do not use a CRM. So going back to this one, 70% of home buyers forget the agent's name. There could be a direct relation to them not having a CRM set up that's following up with those people on a regular basis. And like I said, it doesn't matter what CRM you're using necessarily. You want to find the right one for you, but Lion Desk is one that's free, available to you. I mean, there's Prime Agent as well that has some drip campaigns and stuff in there, but those are kind of generic more, that aren't really tailored to that individual user. So that you can go in and customize and create custom campaigns in there as well. And if you guys want to use the in-house Prime Agent CRM for that, if you're using it, all your people are in there, contact me and I will help you with setting that up and making that work for you within Prime Agent. But Prime Agent doesn't have features that Lion Desk has, and I kind of want to give you more of an all-around CRM rather than something that's going to be limited to you, okay? And then these are just a number, like several other ones. Exact Contact, that one is fairly cheap. I think it's like $33 a year, something like that, or $33 a month if you do the year, purchase a year off bat, and you get like a 60-day free trial to try it out. So if you wanted to see, that one has like monthly newsletters that go out from you, and that has kind of pre-built campaigns that you could just use on your own. Revolve is similar. It's a little bit more money. Wise Agents is similar pricing as Exact Contact. Same thing, has like drip campaigns and campaigns already in there built in for you. Property Base is a bit on the higher end side. This is a Salesforce product, but that one's going to be like a bit more money, but it's going to take less time for you to set up. It's really going to be, all the campaigns are really built for you in there, and you just activate it on those people. And Lion Desk is kind of in between, I guess. There's a lot of user generated campaigns that you could just use on your own that other people created, and you could just plug and play and find ones that fit your needs, and then import, just download them right into your CRM, so you have those you can use those at will. So and once again, we'll be going more into that in the next webinar, but I just want to give you a little, there's a million different CRMs out there. That's like what I heard is like the running joke at Inman every year is that there's only like 92 CRMs this year, because there's always a new CRM company out there. But some of the things that you really want to, or why do you use a CRM? So, and then we'll be going into like what features you kind of are looking for, or how to pick one. So you need to build and maintain relationships with your clients, right? So a customer relationship management platform allows you to do that, whether they're new, old leads, list or clients. you just won't want to do that once a done approach where you send them one email and then, or you phone call, whatever it is, and then you just never go back to them. So, but you would need a CRM that allows you to respond in a timely fashion. It allows to provide value, be memorable, and start conversations. Okay, so this is something that the respond in timely fashion. You could have all your leads depending on your CRM, and that's what I meant by like the Prime Agent CRM versus like some of these other ones here. That only allows like leads from your agent website. So I mean, if you don't have an agent website, then you're not really getting any additional leads. You manually have to put them into your database. Where Lion Desk will allow you, and these other ones will allow you to take any lead source, whether it's listings to leads or Facebook or Zillow, Realtor.com leads, wherever you're getting your leads. Well, you can set it up to where they go right directly into your Lion Desk CRM. So then you could easily activate campaigns on those people and follow-up systems. So and that's really where it makes a difference, because if now you don't have to use multiple different platforms and you're not copying and pasting and forgetting to add people into your database and stuff like that. This way, all of your leads will come right in, and you can start those conversations right away. All right. So picking the right CRM for you, like I said, we're going to be going through in the next webinar, and I'll touch on it a little bit later today on the Lion Desk. But like I showed you, there's a number of different CRMs out there, and you're really going to want to, if you've already started looking at CRMs and you've realized the value in a good CRM, then you don't want to just focus on price and features necessarily, because the shiny object syndrome, where you're distracted by all the little things. But you really just want to use a CRM that's going to have the features that you need and that you're actually going to use. You don't have to get one that has every single thing under the sun, but if you're only going to use 3 of those things under the sun, then why be paying for something or have a system there that's going to be more confusing for you if you're not going to be using it. Okay. So basically there's a few categories here that we'll go through, like some questions to ask yourself when picking. So does the CRM like make you more tech-enabled agent? And what do I mean by that? In like broad terms, can you contact hundreds of people in an hour, where you can just activate campaigns on batch activate campaigns on a whole category of people, new leads or prospects or buyers or sellers, different types of people in your database, and then just send them an email very quickly. So does it allow you to prioritize tasks based on money, on your like on the based on like the return on investment? So more or less, can you see what people are doing in the back end? If you send them an email, can you see if that they're opening that? Can you see if what they're clicking on in order to know whether to reach out to them? Do they handle lead nurturing? Does it automate communication? And this way you don't have to email and call every single lead yourself. So basically, when you do activate campaigns, let me go back. So you can activate campaigns on people individually or by groups, or you can set up, like for Lion Desk, for example, which we'll talk about next webinar. You can actually, any lead source, so say it's a Zillow lead or a Facebook lead or a listings to lead, you could have that automatically, as soon as you get a new lead into that category, it will automatically activate a campaign on them as soon as you get the lead. So now you're not having to go in there and manually go activate campaigns on people to create follow-up systems. You can just, once you get the lead, boom, it's already activated on that person, and it's now sending them emails on your behalf in the background without you even, you just have to set it up initially, but once it's activated, boom, they're just getting the emails that you want them to see. Okay, so we'll be going through that more later, but that's kind of makes you, it's a more tech-enabled agent, which also reduces your workload. Okay, so it should reduce your workload. You don't want to add to it, right? it's going to be a new process. So in the beginning, it'll take some time to get acclimated and get set up. But in the end, you should be able to uh, basically all that grunt work you're doing by going through and checking up on and sending out emails and doing all these little mundane tasks. This will just be working for you. And then, like I mentioned, responding to new leads. Will the CRM automatically send you an email or send out an email that you programmed versus you doing it manually? All that time saved. So every time you get a new lead, or especially this is more for like if you're doing lead generation, if you're running campaigns on Facebook or pay-per-click ads or something like that, where you're getting a larger number of leads that are coming in, that this will save you a lot of time in that respect. I mean, of course, you will need to go in and check and see what they're doing on a daily basis, or a couple times a week at least. But you definitely would need to go in there and still do other things. But at least this way, it's sending out those emails and maybe text messages and stuff like that on your behalf. All right. So agents be sharing their knowledge, not finding people to share their knowledge with. Okay. All right. So can it work with other tools? So now, like I mentioned earlier with Prime Agent, that doesn't allow you to pull in leads from other places or and stuff like that. So it's definitely kind of limiting to some degree. Where like a Lion Desk here, it'll integrate with your listings of leads. It integrates with Cloud CMA, so you can just do a CMA right from listings to lead, or right from Lion Desk and send it out. The platforms integrate and talk to each other, so you're able to use your CRM. It's kind of, I don't want to get into API stuff, but it allows you to connect to multiple different platforms, so you don't have to copy and paste leads from a Gmail and then put them into your CRM. So you want something flexible for your business. Okay, so the one I'll be showing you is the Lion Desk later on and in the next webinar. But just this is some of the things that you want to think about. And pricing and features aren't everything. So we kind of went through those things to kind of figure out the best system that might be for you. And I would suggest like kind of going around and looking at some different CRMs if you wanted to go outside of like Lion Desk, and then see what they feature, what they have. Like I mentioned earlier, with the property base, that's going to have like already generated content for you, and sometimes it even comes out like monthly. So like if you want to send out market statistics, instead of you having to go and put together an email for the monthly statistics, they have like it's more generic based. It's not going to necessarily be Santa Clarita, but it'll have like just US real estate statistics kind of generalized that'll go out on your behalf every single month. But that's going to be a lot pricier platform than something like Lion Desk, where you're getting it for free, that's upgradable, depending on how many emails and stuff you need to send out. But it's a bit different as far as this. You have to kind of put your stuff in there, and then it'll automate it once everything's in there, where other ones will have stuff already ready for you to send out, like content ready. So those are some of the things that you have to ask yourself is, how much work do I want to put into it, and how much money do I want to spend? And then even though pricing, you don't want to be overly concerned with it, because if you pay for a cheaper CRM or a free one, and if it's not helping you close those deals, then it's not really saving you any money, is it? So basically, I don't want to force you into using Lion Desk. I want you to kind of see what you want, but Lion Desk is a great option, but I don't want you guys to feel like we're forcing you into that, because I mean, you could do these kind of things with a number of different CRMs out there. Okay. All right. So see, these are some of the tasks or some of the features that are available in the free CRM that we'll be talking about more. The Lion Desk. So it's got contact management. So you could, easily manage all types of lead sources, buyers, sellers, stuff like that. You're able to put unlimited number of tags on each client. So whether you want to, say maybe you want to do those like market updates, but you have, people in different parts of Santa Clarita, and you wanted to do like a Valencia group and a Newhall and a Saugus and different groups like that, you're able to, excuse me, add additional tags to those people. So now you can easily search through and bulk activate campaigns on whatever types of tags you want to, whatever types of clients that you're looking to target. So third-party lead imports, that is, like I mentioned earlier, where you know, Zillow, Realtor.com, listings to leads integrates right in here. Facebook, whether you have your personal website, any other lead sources that you may be paying for, could all come into this one single CRM. So now you're not having to go all around, find different, you know, you got an email from this person here, and this came in from some Facebook thing, and now you're having to go around and find all these different people's information and then try to put them into a place that you can manage them. So this will kind of take away all that additional steps and speed up and simplify your life. The Facebook ads direct. So this will be, so I don't know if you guys do that many Facebook ads with lead forms, but now you used to be able to you'd get all your lead form information be submitted to you through Facebook, but now they require some third-party platform in order to, like, Lead Bridge is one that I know that they use, but that's like a paid platform that you have to pay for, where this way it allows you to run those Facebook lead ads and then get them directly inputted into your CRM, which, you know, will save you additional money there. So you have calendar and task management. So this is where you can, you know, go ahead and put a task or put reminders on people in order to contact them in a certain period of time, whether you need to call them or the task management. It basically, what it does, it's going to so say you sent them an email or a text message or something like that, then it's going to now keep that in a transaction log or I don't know what exactly the way they name it, but like a log of all your communications. So now you'll be able to really utilize this platform as a way to keep track of all the times you contacted a person or communications between you and that person. So whether you could call through here, and there's different options for, you know, you're only limited so many text messages and stuff like that within this free account. So that's going to be, you know, something to watch out. I think you could do like 100 texts / calls a month through the platform, and then I believe it's like 1,000 emails you can send out for this free cost, which so nothing. And then it jumps up like maybe $20 a month if you wanted, you know, kind of unlimited, or maybe it's limited, but enough for you to continue on without having a problem. So track email results, that's another one here. So this would allow you to, like, basically see who's opening your emails, know what they're clicking on in your emails. So now when you're doing this, you're able to judge, like I put in my little thing out there that I sent out about this class in the email. It's like, if you had an hour to go through your CRM and then see who's going to be, like, who's to call that you can try to get, you know, to mine your database for like hot and warm business. This is a way to do that. This is where, if you have people that are really engaging with some of your content that you're sending them, whether it's like listings or you know, market material or different things like that, you can kind of get a sense if they're opening everything and they're you know, and clicking on different things. That's going to indicate to you that they might be more in the market than you realized. And then maybe you want to reach out to them with a phone call and see where they're at in the process, because you know what, it's about 16% or something on average emails get opened, and then even way less than that get clicked. So I mean, if they're opening and clicking on your emails, then there might be, it might be time to give them a call, more or less. Okay, and then this will allow you to track that results. Enhanced drip campaigns. So this is where you can have, like, create and activate automated campaigns within your account. So more or less it's going to be it's not just emails as well, but it's you can do phone calls and text messages. So we'll get more into that in the next webinar. But and like I said, you have your limited to like 100, I believe, text messages a month, and but then it resets every month. So and you really don't want to abuse those text messages either, because you know, people can opt out, and you just want to use them as needed, but don't just bombard people, okay? And you're limited in your numbers anyways, so I wouldn't suggest doing that, but just use those sparingly and when needed. But you know, maybe if it's you just got a new lead on a property and you have it automated, there's a preset thing in here for new lead campaign, and then where if you activate that on those new leads that come in, then it will send, you know, if they put in their phone number, then it'll send them an automated text saying, hey, I got your message, I'll be in contact with you shortly, or whatever you set it up to say. But by default, it says something similar to that. And then that way you're able to you know, get a text message out quickly, because like I said, I think it's on average right now, it's 15 hours for a real estate agent to contact a lead, which seems incredibly slow, but on average, that's what it is. 15 hours to reply back to some sort of lead that, on average, like I said. But then they found that if you reply back within 5 minutes, you're 95% more likely to close, or to close the deal with that person, or at least get the appointment or whatever. So like that quick follow-up is something that these CRMs allow you to do. And we'll skip over one here, but this auto replies. So that's kind of where that drip campaign, you know, ties into some degree with auto replies. So if you get, you know, you get a lead that comes in, boom, you have these automated campaigns that will respond right back to those people automatically. So this is where the automation comes in and starts to make your life easier and save you time, as well as stay top of mind with your people. Sorry about the phone again. So you could schedule email and text. So this is where you can, you know, beyond just having drip campaigns where you activate it on, you can have that scheduled emails where, you know, I send out our monthly statistics by the 15th or so of every month. And then that way you could go ahead and then, you know, schedule out, you know, once I have sent that out, you can just kind of copy paste what I put in, and then boom, you can schedule that out as an email for the next day or whatever, you know. So, or, you know, for maybe you wanted to do a text, schedule out a text for your past clients. Every 3 months, you say something about, you know, checking in, see how you're doing, blah, 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 blah. Give me a call if you need anything. I'm always looking for referrals, where you could just set that up to where on every 3 months, it's sending out a text message on your behalf or an email. So basically you're able to create these templates and then set them up, whether it's an automated campaign or scheduled emails. There's the deal and pipeline management. So this is where you can like track the process of your deal. So you can, you know, put in a deal. Maybe you have a buy or a listing or a buyer for a property. You can put that in and what commission is and stuff like that. And then the timeline. And now that's gonna, and we'll take a look at this here once we take a look at the CRM. But you can kind of track that and see where you're at and how much money you're making for the year and things like that. And where you're at in that process. You know, are they in escrow? Are you still prospecting with that? You know, looking at properties, whatever. So this also allows you to do some video and email, or a video email and video texting. So within your browser, you can just record a video and insert it right into the body of your email and send, or text, and then send it off. I believe they're limited. It's like 20-second video for text messages, and then so say you had, you know, maybe a video email on a campaign for a listing that says, hey, I got your, you know, something, you record a 20-second video of, hey, I got your email about 123 Main Street. You know, I'm with a client, right? Or, you know, something. Well, you wouldn't want to say you're with a client right now if you're recording yourself, but I think you get my point. You know, you'll say, hey, we'll be in touch with you here shortly. at, you know, on my way to a meeting right now, and I'll give you a call in a few minutes, something like that, you know. So then that way, once you get a new lead, boom, you're able to send out a video, or whether you're just sending out a single video to your contacts. It doesn't have to be a new lead, but basically it just allows you to create and send video emails and text right from within Lion Desk. And then there's Text Manager. So this is where it allows you, because there's like an app, Lion Desk app. So, and as well as within the desktop dashboard, you're able to text message from there, and you're able to track those text messages. So, for like legal reasons, you might want to, track all your, keep a log of all your text messages, as well as, this will track your emails and stuff too. But so then, maybe you get a new phone and all your text messages from your old phone are gone now because you traded in your phone, and now you lost all those text messages, or this now can keep all those text messages in one place. All right, so that's kind of some of the features, and now let's get on to, that's some of the features that you have available to you within the Lion Desk. And then here's some of the things. This is more Lion Desk specific about the types of contacts, but which this will be kind of like your homework to some degree to get your content for the next webinar, where we're going to be going through like using the CRM and kind of taking advantage of its features. But you need people to be in there, right? So you need to have somebody to send to. Who are you going to send, and who are they, and what are they, basically? So you need to identify the who and what of your database. So the who are they? Basically, this is going to be in the type of contact section of Lion Desk. But are they a buyer, a seller, an investor? Are they part of your sphere? Are they an agent, a lender? So you kind of want to separate all these people, because you're not going to necessarily be sending them the same material, right? You're not going to be sending a seller material about, something that you would send to a sphere or an investor or something, you know what I mean? So this is a way to categorize your people within your CRM in order to, it makes it easy to identify what you want to send and who you want to send it to, right? So this is the who, the buyers, sellers, investors sphere, and we'll take a look at this, but once again in that next webinar. But I'm going to touch on some of it. I'm just going to give you a brief overview of Lion Desk here once we finish up with these slides, but then we'll actually go into using it in the next webinar. So now I want to identify the what. So what is the status of the contact? So this would be like in the status area of the listings to leads. But are they a new contact? Are they prospecting? Are they active? Is it a future kind of client? And then closed, and these are the ones that are built into Lion Desk. So that closed and active. So maybe somebody that's you haven't heard from in a few years, or something like that, where you want to kind of keep tabs on them. So whether it's a past client, buyer, seller, something like that, where you're not going to be sending necessarily the same material as an active buyer or seller. Okay. So, and then non-client, this might be like all your other agents that might be in your database, and vendors, your the lenders or title company people, whatever they may be, escrow, where they're in your database. So you still have them if you need their contact information or to send them an email, but they're just in a non-client area of your database. Okay, so once again, it makes you easy to identify what you want to send and who you want to send it to. So between the who's and then the type of contact, this can be about the minimum you're going to want to do within your database to get started. Okay, and then that's once you have your people in there. So kind of like your homework for next time is going to be like getting your people from your different areas, whether you use Gmail or Outlook or Yahoo or wherever you save people's emails and phone numbers and stuff like that. You're going to want to export those out and then so then that way you can import them into Lion Desk or whatever CRM you're going to be using, because you're going to get those people into your CRM in order to start to make notes on them and send them content. All right. So now once you have people in there, some campaigns. So you're going to want to turn on. So this kind of re-engagement. So this is going to be like our step one that we're going to be doing. And once again, we'll be doing this in more detail next time. But so to kind of identify, excuse me, I'm sorry. So how to activate these campaigns on buyers and sellers with the statuses of new or prospecting. Okay, so these are going to be kind of like these drip campaigns that I'm going to be creating for you guys, and then you guys can kind of customize to your needs. Or if you go into Lion Desk, I'll show you that once here in a few minutes, where there's a bunch of campaigns in there that you can just start to plug into your dashboard right away, and then get going on it if you wanted to jump ahead. But basically, step one would be creating campaigns, which we'll take a look at, and then you want to do an advanced search. So why would you want to do that? Because you want to find these people with the statuses of the new and prospecting. So we're going to go through that process of how you can bulk, turn on campaigns in bulk to each group. So then that way you're able to, like I mentioned earlier, are you able to send are you able to contact 100 people in less than an hour? Yes, with this, you just search for, new buyers, new sellers, whether it's, your type of contact, your status of contact, or if you want to do like new, so that'd be date created. So if they were people that just came in the last, maybe 3 months or so, let's say, then you could hit them with this campaign. So we'll be going through that, like I said, in more detail next time, but just wanted to get your expectations going and some things to start thinking about before we jump into that, because that's going to get kind of in the weeds there. So this way it's more of a, between getting your database exported out and getting it ready to go in, and then starting to think about maybe some campaigns and some text that you'd want to send out to these people. And I'll have scripts and stuff like that ready, but just for yourself, do you want to do holiday campaigns or this or that? Just start thinking of that kind of stuff. So then that way you kind of have a sense of where you're going to be going. So here's some tips for these campaigns. So we want to offer something of value, and like I said, these will be things that I kind of incorporate into the campaigns that we'll be sharing with you in the next webinar. But we want to offer something of value. So whether it's a no obligation appointment or a buyer seller guide, something like that, and we do have buyer seller guides on our resource page. So I'll probably be integrating those into these. That you can customize the buyer seller guide, and then once you have these templates set up, you can just drop. It's already going to be a pre-built email inside your CRM. So you have a new buyer, you can send out the buyer guide to them right away, because you don't have to reinvent the wheel each time. You have all these things that'll be saved within your account, and you could just send them that email real fast. Okay, so whatever it is, you want to do something that'll solicit some sort of immediate response. So maybe if you do an offer to these people, to send a text message that same day. Don't overwhelm them with it, but just say, sorry, 1 second, I need to have a sip of water. So just kind of follow along with a text message, whether it's an appointment, or maybe it's a referral request, something like that. Maybe send them a text. But once we have down below there, don't abuse the texting. So just use those sparingly, but it might be something to think about to incorporate. Campaigns could be at least like 1 year long, because really, maybe you have, like I said, the newsletter kind of campaign, or a monthly statistics that will go out every month for the year, or a holiday campaign, which I'll have kind of set up for you guys, and stuff like that, where you can have these campaigns that are basically going to be set up for a longer term, because you kind of want to send initially with a new contact, maybe, and these are not like set in stone, but these are just kind of ideas for you guys, okay? But some educational or engaging content, the first, when you first meet them or first activate a campaign with it, maybe like two emails per week to stay on top of them. Just and you always want to try to fit in that phone call or something, or text as well. But if you're just emailing, whether a couple things per week, just to stay in top of mind with them, since they reached out to you most likely for these leads, right? So they went to something from you to get something from you, so they've asked for information from you. So don't feel bad about emailing them, because what is it, like 6 to 9 attempts is where you actually start to convert somebody. So if it's only, you're looking at 8 attempts here, that's less than that number within the first month. So if you do, these multiple attempts, and it doesn't have to be like this huge long email. It could be like, hey, I got your request, blah, 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 set up a time, you're ready to set up a time to see the property, and then you don't hear from them, boom. Hey, how about another, is there a better time to schedule a showing, or do you want to look at another property? Something like that. It doesn't have to be like some huge drawn out email that's going to take you forever to create. It's going to be like quick little short emails that are trying to get a response from these people, okay? Because and then once it goes after the first month, and then maybe just twice per month, whether it's just like a month, like a newsletter, and then just some sort of maybe educational material, because you want to try to show them that you are the best agent, or you have you're the expert, basically. So if you're sending them information about housing in their area or something like that, something more tailored to them in their community, or if you have different tags on them and have different content for everybody's into different things, maybe some school material, or tips for Cinco de Mayo, something like that, something that'll give them something. So maybe like a menu idea for having Cinco de Mayo, or whatever it is. Which this will be some of the stuff that I'll be providing to you guys, but just so it gets your mind thinking of some of the content that you could be sharing with people. Don't abuse the texting. It does have the text feature in here, but I would say like 99% of everybody sees the text messages that are sent to them. So like I've gotten about 3 here stupid ones from, I don't even know who it is, on my phone since I've been recording this, from some short code account here that I don't even know who it is, so but this way, just don't abuse the texting, because people will hit that stop so they will not hear from you again. So just use those sparingly. Ask a question in every piece that you send. So whether you just end it with a question because you're trying to solicit some sort of response from them, are they going to answer you? A lot of times, probably not right away. Like I mentioned in the beginning, like don't get frustrated or take it personal if they don't respond to you. And like we've had, examples in our office talk about people who sent them emails and calls and texts and emails and calls and texts for a year before they finally said they were ready to go and pull the trigger. So and it's always like, hey, can I help you? What can I do for you? Stuff like that. Can I show you some other properties? Can I, whatever it is. I mean, there's a million different questions that you can ask, but just try to end it with something. So then that solicits some sort of reply back to you, which will then, be able to gauge their interest level. Okay. And that's where they utilize tracking. So see who's opening and engaging with your material. If so, reach out to them directly with a call. Maybe you just get a referral, and if it's not a deal, but if they're engaging with your content, they're interested in what you're sending them, and then that's a good indicator of a good time to reach out to them. Okay. All right. And then when do you when do you stop campaigns, basically? So maybe you have bad contact information. Somebody submitted bad info, and nothing's getting rejected. It's just getting rejected or whatever. You can just remove those people from your database, or just stop the campaigns on them, because really you're not doing yourself a favor, because you're not really even getting in touch with them. So you're just wasting effort on that person. Or if a lead says get lost, or they opt out of your campaigns, just, that doesn't mean to delete them from your database, but just stop those campaigns, because maybe you're annoying them, okay? And then, and this is the most important one, stop your campaigns once you start to list, once you list their house, or you start to show them homes, like, drop that off, because you don't, if you continue to send them something about trying to find the best property, or how to get the most from their house when you're selling it, and then you've already have it listed, and it's like, they may think, like, is this person dumb? Why did they send me an email about I already have the home listed with them? So turn it off, or switch to more of like a spear campaign, or maybe just like a monthly newsletter, something like that, where you're not sending them information that's not relevant anymore. Okay, so those are just some tips on when to stop campaigns. And then basically, step 3, get the appointment, close the deal through fast and speedy response. So, like we mentioned earlier and multiple times, ask questions to get a response. Because, if you don't ask them anything, they're probably just not gonna, I mean, in some cases, like I said, there's a number of times, like some of these leads, especially if you're getting like online leads, they're 6 to 12 months out. So there's a good chance you're not going to hear from them for a while, but you want to be there when when they're ready to go. But if you're not sending them stuff, you're not staying top of mind, you're not there when they need you, then they're going to find the agent that is sending them. Because a lot of these people, if you got the lead from online, there's a good chance that they've submitted their information to other people. So, and then where do we start with this? 60% of agents do not have a CRM or use a CRM. So there's a good chance that, there's a 40% chance that they've contacted an agent that actually is going to contact them back on a regular basis. So, and if you're one of those 60%, then there's most likely going to go with that 40% person who's there, staying top of mind, ready for them to, pull the trigger. And once they pull the trigger, they're the ones who's got content in front of them at the time. So you want to be the person who's staying in front of them, whether or not you're getting a response right away, okay? So what you want to do is you want to check your CRM on daily, or if not daily, at least a few times a week, to see what's going on within the stuff you're sending. See who's opening the emails, clicking the links, so then that way you can, reach out to them and pick up the phone to get the appointment. So, this stuff CRM isn't meant to do everything for you. It's meant to be it's a tool to help you stay on top of mind with people. But you need to be the person, you're the salesperson who closes the deal, right? That email that you sent them isn't going to close the deal, but it may get them, more interested in you, but you really have to pick up the phone, or if you're seeing them click those links and interacting with all your content and stuff like that, pick up the phone and try to set something up. Maybe send market updates, and it doesn't necessarily have to be all through this one CRM, but if you're sending them, like, what do we have, that eProperty Watch, where it could send them market updates on their properties right from that system. At least that's something that you're sending out, and some sort of, that goes out by default. I believe it's every 2 weeks, right? So then that's, every couple of weeks you're sending them some sort of market update. It's another automated campaign that you might want to think about using to send those out, where just the market updates one is a little bit rougher, because that's going to be like the eProperty Watch is a great solution for that, because it's just showing them a snapshot at that time based on property values and everything for their specific property. But you know, if you want to send like the Santa Clarita updates, like kind of that I do every month, then that's going to be something that you have to create that email after I send them out in order to get that update for the people. So it's a little bit extra step, but sending those out is always a good thing. To, you know, you're providing them with value and with information that they might not be able to get anywhere else except for you. So because there's not too many other companies that are doing that for their agents. So you know, I mean, I don't really know of any. I don't see anybody else sharing that stuff out except for our agents. So so you know, you do have that at your disposal, but you know, it's going to take a little bit extra step to put that in every month. So keep campaigns running if applicable. Sorry, typo there. So and that's kind of like what we talked about with when to stop those campaigns. So I mean, if you did get the appointment and you started showing them properties, stop their buyer campaign if you have one set up on them. Or, you know, if you got the appointment for the listing appointment and you're, you know, whatever, you got it, then stop sending them the seller campaigns, because, you know, you're not, that's not going to help you necessarily. It could just make you look like, what are they doing? I'm already their client. They don't have to keep selling me. So keep them running if applicable, but if not, just shut those babies down. Keep the statuses updated. So like what we talked about earlier with the new, prospect, active, future, closed, and active. So if you know you had an active person and you converted them into a buyer or a seller, switch that status in your CRM. So now you keep sending them the correct information, because now you don't need to keep sending them, you know, information to turn them into a buyer or seller. You already have them as a buyer or seller, so that way, you know, once you do go to put them in some sort of seller or buyer campaign, they're actually getting the appropriate material rather than getting something for an active buyer or seller when you've already converted them. Okay, and then so there's note history of conversations. So this would be, you could check your activity timeline, which will be in there in your CRM to see like, okay, I sent this email or text at this time, and they, you know, maybe said contact me in 3 months. So now you can kind of set a reminder within your CRM to contact them in maybe 2.5 months, you know, to check back in with them. And then hotness levels, this is an additional feature that you can add. So, and a lot of CRMs have this. So, you know, if it's, you know, there's like hot, cool, warm, you know. So this way, if it's somebody that's warm or hot, you know, you can indicate that. So now that's searchable, so you can target them with additional information if need be. All right. Okay, so that's kind of that. Those are kind of the basics of why to use the CRM and what's the advantages. So basically, this is Lion Desk. So basically, sorry, I should have showed you how to get there from here. But if you go to Matrix, oops. So when you're logged in here, you're going to see this Lion Desk right here. If you just click it, it's going to bring you over to where you can log in. You might have to create an account where you'll just use your, you know, email and password, and then it will bring you over to your account. So let me get out of here. Let me get back in here. So this is kind of, I'm not going to go through this in really that much detail today. I'm just going to kind of briefly kind of show you what's in here. So this is kind of where gives you like your daily vitals. So how many new contacts, how many calls, texts, or outbound calls and texts, how many inbound texts, emails sent, opened, and then, you know, your reputation, which is kind of based on, you know, opens and sents and stuff. So, you know, it goes through here and kind of has activity, you know, who opened what recently, what was sent, what was opened, what was clicked. So you can easily go through here. So if you you have these campaigns going, you can just click on this clicked button here and then see what contacts clicked on something within your campaigns. So it's an easy way for you to get, to start tracking people. So you can see who opened your emails for that night or day, and then which ones got sent out. And then it's kind of and this is like that pipeline thing, which we're not going to get into right now, but and your contact activity log. So this is like kind of just, we'll get through that stuff later, but more or less what we want to show is contacts. So you'll be able to put in your contacts, and then like I mentioned earlier, there is within your settings, and I'm just kind of blowing through this, but there's these different lead sources. So these are for CRMLS, Facebook. These are kind of the default ones, but like I mentioned, you could add in different lead sources. So maybe we want listings to leads. And then, so now when we go in, we could have all these leads that get tied, that come from listings to leads, will get categorized with this lead source, okay? And we'll get into that more later, but, and then here's some categories and tags and different things in here, your contact types, your hotness levels. You could have like task buckets, so do something now, later, in the future. All your different, call dispositions. So if you're doing calls from here, you can put, or even if you're doing them from your own phone, you could go in and label, okay, they got no answer, I left a voicemail. So now you're keeping track of your communications with these people. So there's a lot more to this, but so there's the lead tracking settings. So if you wanted to use like the listings to leads, that was a label that I showed you earlier, but this would be where listings to leads is in here, listings to leads. So now you would put, so this is the lead source, listings to leads, lead source. And then you could automatically put like a new lead campaign right on that person, or from your drip campaigns. And then that's distribution, which you don't need to worry about. You would save this lead routing, oops, individual. And then now anytime a new lead comes in, it's going to activate the Lion Desk new lead campaign on that person, and then put it into the lead source of listings to leads. So it's which we're going to go through this in more detail, but it's going to show you how you can add those in. There's different third-party integrations that connects with all your different stuff here. So with the listings to leads, or that's a Facebook lead ad, listings to leads from within your listings to leads account, you can connect this. So there's different ways of doing things, but this is, I'm getting kind of drugged down in here, but so basically let's go back to this contacts and kind of show you here. So when you have a contact in here, you have all these different actions. So you can add a task to them, you can add the drip campaign, you could add to a list, you could send direct mail, which this is coming soon, where you could do postcards and stuff. So like if you wanted to, there's a lot in here, so we're not going to go through it all right now. But so you can go through, and what we mentioned earlier, you could search contacts to do like an advanced search. So if you wanted to do all your contacts with, the Facebook lead source in order to do a bulk target on those people, you're able to do that. So we're going to go through this in more detail, but I just kind of wanted to give you a brief overview of this stuff. So in the marketing is where now you have some different your templates, okay? And here is the different campaigns based off those templates. And here are a whole number of drip campaigns that are created by other people that you can use for free, or some people have prices on them. But like here's a new client follow-up with open house follow-up, okay? And it's got 8 different touches. So we can take a look at this one by clicking the eye. So, and then these would be, obviously you would have to kind of tailor these for you, but you at least gives you idea of what's going on in here and like how to make it work for you, or as far as like what's going on. And I'll show you that. So here's like a text contact. So as soon as immediately it's after getting the lead, it will text them, thank you for visiting my open house, blah, 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 blah. And then it has like their little name on there. and then 5 minutes later, it sends them an email with 5 steps to purchase your new home. And then 1 day later, in the morning, it sends them another text. And then a call, which
it's 3 o'clock.
That doesn't necessarily call them. You need to do that, but it's in the list of things to do. So we have 2 days later, then it sends them another email or another text, which this guy is very text oriented. So you have to, watch out for those. But, this is 7 days later, sending more information. So what it's doing is these are like campaigns that you can use for yourself and then edit them, to make them your own. But at least it kind of shows you how this stuff works in here. Okay, so like what the campaigns are for. So and then look at how many there are. There's 3,500 entries of different types of drip campaigns within here. So here's a buyer second year. So this is probably going to be something about like congratulations on buying a new home kind of thing. A general drip campaign. So you can kind of look at these just by clicking the eyeball. And if you wanted, say you really like this one here and you wanted to use this for yourself, this was the open house. You would just click this little download icon, and then that's going to put it right into your campaign section over here. So like, look at this 15 touch. This is something about like, at Christmas time, it'll send one, and another one, it said Happy New Year, then Happy New Year. This is one that I just pulled in. Then it has like some of these are already gone. Let's go back down to here. So this would be like tomorrow, this one would send out earmarking your tax return dollars towards a new home. So if we looked at this one, whoops, edit. Oh, we can't edit those from here, but this is just editing the, we went over here, templates. Sorry, one sec here. First day summer, happy Thanksgiving. Okay, so not all of my templates moved over, but so basically it shows you like what's in those bodies here, and then you can edit them and then say whatever you want to say, and that's gonna like these kind of short code things right here is that's gonna put that person, your contact's first name, and then it's gonna put your signature in, and then it's gonna have some just crap that you can send out. Some content, valuable content that is gonna help you generate more business inside the body. Save your template, and it's gonna go in part of your auto drip campaigns. So we're going to go through more of this. It might be a little confusing now, so I don't want to dig any more deeper into this. But you're able to create your campaigns, and then you're able to put those drips out there. You can activate those on your people, or in this communications, you have all these templates in there that you could just send off to individual people. So now that you have a bunch of different email templates throughout your in your system here, your marketing side, you're able to then maybe you just want to send a Happy New Year's or whatever to one individual person, and you would be able to just click on that, boom, it just inserted that whole body of that whole email in here, and then you're able just to put that, type in that one person, and then send it off. Sent successfully. All right, so it makes it really easy. And that's why I'm going to build out a lot of these templates for you, so that you could just download them like I was showing you from this side over here. You just be able to click on the download button. I'll publish them out, and then I'll share with everyone where you'll just be able to click the button. Okay, and now it just added that new client follow-up right inside my own dashboard, which I can now activate on a client. So let me take a look. If we go back to this contacts, if I wanted to activate that open house one, add drip campaign, Oops. So it's going to now allow me to select. That's the new client follow-up. Boom. Add campaign. And then there we go. I've now just activated a drip campaign on myself within a couple clicks. So we'll go through all this whole system in a lot more detail in the next webinar. But just so you know, you're able to do like a lot of stuff in here. This is go through it real fast. You have your excuse me, your activity log right here. You can see what emails got sent out, what was clicked on, what was open, which one sent. You know, you're able to look at all your contacts in here. You're able to activate campaigns, put notes on them, put a task on them. So we want to, you know, category, you know, you're able to put all these different things, all these tasks and reminders on people in order to contact them or call them at a certain time. You know, you can add the drip campaigns, delete contact, do all these different things in here. We don't use dot loop, but if we did, you'd be able to activate dot loop on there. So here's all your marketing information. Here's your calendar. So you're able to use your calendar in order to, you know, follow up with a client on a certain date. So we can put, you know, signed to Richard Neville, blah, 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 blah. You know, what you need to do. We want to know, we'll need a text reminder to remember this, and then you can put completed. So basically, you know, it gives you all these different features in here in order to stay on top of all your contacts, because a CRM is a contact management, or it's a contact relationship management platform for you to always be on top of your clients and their needs. All right, guys, I think I've ran out of time here, so let me just double check and make sure there wasn't any questions that I missed. No? All right, so this will be shared out later, and we'll be going through this Lion Desk in a lot more detail. And like I said before, I'm going to create a number of these different campaigns for you, and that way you'll be able to just kind of import them in and maybe fine tune them a little bit for yourself. But for the most part, you won't have to try to reinvent the wheel. You'll just be able to use some preset templates and activate those on your people right away and start to take advantage of this free CRM for you. All right, everyone, I appreciate you taking the time to watch this and stand with me, and watch out for the recording and for the next webinar. The next webinar is going to be on something else this month, but for May, my first webinar will be the follow-up to this webinar with more information on, you know, utilizing the CRM to its fullest capabilities. Thank you, everyone. I'll talk to you later. Bye now.